Hello everyone, this is Marcos Broja, product advisor of Downtown Toyota, part of Downtown Auto Group. Today we're going to talk about two special cars, the Corolla Hatchback and the Corolla Hybrid. Today we'll go through all the details about these two cars. Basically they have the same name, but we're going to take a quick look what is the difference and what is the lifestyle for this car and what is the lifestyle for this car. Let's go and check it. Talking about one of the main differences between these two cars, of course, it will be the size, right? This one is a sedan and this one is a hatchback. Also, one of the biggest difference it will be like the engine, because we're talking about this one that is a 1.8 liters hybrid and this one is 2.0 liters gas. So taking that in consideration is basically like what are you looking for, right? Because this car it will be like very good, for example, for a family that they have kids. I think that you have a little bit more room in the cabin. But on the other hand, this one is a little bit more stylish, this one is more sporty, and this one is more fresh, right? So it depends on basically what are you looking for, but overall that's why Corolla is basically one of the best sellers for the all times. In my personal opinion, in terms of the value, it is a very good fit for every person. If you are single, Corolla Hatchback. If you have family, Corolla Sedan. So talking about the bumper of these two, we can see that there's a slightly difference, right? For example, this one is the XSE trim, this one is the top of the line. And we can see that this one has like the fog lights. On the other hand, this one, because it's the SE upgrade, we don't have like the fog lights, right? But overall, it looks like pretty similar. One thing that I want to mention is like the difference I can say is in the logo. This one has the logo here from Toyota and this one has up the grille. But overall, if you saw the headlamps and everything is pretty similar between both of them. There's a reason why, yeah? Right? Because both of them are Corollas. One thing that I want to point also, because this one is a sedan, you can have like way more space in the cargo area. Also, another big difference that I like to mention in the sedan and in the Corolla Hatchback is that in the sedan version and the hybrid version especially, we can go to all-wheel drive. We can find all-wheel drive version. Unfortunately, in the hatchback and also in the Corolla gas, we cannot find like all-wheel drive. That is one of the big difference between the Corolla Hybrid and the Corolla Gas and the Corolla Hatchback, okay? So if you are interested in all-wheel drive, basically you need to go by hybrid. Another thing that I want to mention too, we are focused on the rims, basically have the same design. Both looks pretty sporty, pretty nice, because this one is the XSE version in the Corolla Hatchback, and in the SE we also have like this version, the sporty version, right? But other than that, like both looks pretty great, has the same size of the rims, same tires, so I think that the drive experience is pretty similar. Other than the hatchback, of course, is a little bit smaller for city driving. I think that it is nicer, is very easy to maneuver, to park and everything. So that's a couple of difference in the size, but also like the comfort and everything pretty much the same. So we're gonna explore right now the trunk for the Corolla Hatchback. For a hatchback car, I think that you have a lot of space. And one thing that I want to mention as well is that here we have a cargo liner. That is always, unfortunately, it is an accessory, but I think that is worth it because that will protect your cargo area, and also it protect like when you have like heavy stuff or something like that, it will protect your cargo area. So I think that is, I saw a lot of value in the cargo liner. The good thing is that these things, for example, that is to cover like your cargo area is removable. So if you take that out, you have a little bit more trunk space, and also you can recline the seats as well, so you have like way more room in the cargo area. I think that for the city driving and for the city of Toronto, that there's a lot of traffic, there's a very tight parking spots. I think that this car is very easy to handle. And don't get me wrong, but I have also a lot of customers that they say, but this car is not all-wheel drive. Maybe in the winter I was struggling, but believe me or not, I didn't have like any complaints from my customers that they drove this car in Toronto. You need to be a little bit wise, like where to drive and where to go when it's a lot of snow. But other than that, in city driving, I think that you won't have like any problem as long as you have winter tires, for example. That is a must, right? For safety, for your family, for everything. But other than that, I think that overall this car, price-wise and everything, it is a very good option. Okay guys, so we already saw this cargo area. Let's gonna explore the cargo area from the Corolla Hybrid. One thing that I want to mention is that this has a lot of room here. You can pull like easily, like for luggage and everything. I think that is a little bit more comfortable than the hatchback. But other than that, like this one is a sedan, of course it will have like more cargo area. So it depends on your lifestyle, right? If you are not a person that use too much your cargo space, the hatchback is a good option. But of course, if you are looking for something that always is very useful, that you use your cargo area, I can say that you need to go by the Corolla Hybrid or Corolla Gas. You will have like the same cargo area. Now sitting here in the second row of the Corolla hatchback, this is one of the key difference basically, like size-wise and the space-wise. Here in the second row is a little bit tight, to be honest with you. I'm not a tall guy, but I still have a little bit of headroom here, and I still have like a little bit of leg room, right? But for people that they are tall, not like me, I think that you will feel a little bit like claustrophobic here because there is not too much space. And also one thing that I want to mention as well is that unfortunately in the Corolla hatchback we don't have like sunroof, or we don't have available that option. If one of the deal breakers is a sunroof for you, you need to go by the Corolla, even if it's the Corolla gas or Corolla hybrid in selected trims. In a long drive, I feel that as long as there is only two persons here, I think that you will feel comfortable here. With three people here in the back, I feel that you will feel a little bit tight, a little bit uncomfortable in a long trips. But if it is a small trip or something like that, I think that you can handle easily. It depends like how many friends do you have or how many family do you have to sit here in the back. Okay, so let's see in the sedan what is the overall difference in leg room, headroom, and everything there. Let's go and check. Okay, so right now I'm sitting here in the Corolla sedan, and to be honest with you, you have a lot of way more room, right? We have here like more leg room. Headroom, to be honest with you, it is like too much difference. I think that maybe a little bit more, but also because this one has the sunroof, we have here like basically an extra part of the roof that is a little bit lower. But overall, I think that it is pretty comfy as well. The other one also because was the XSZ has a mixed fabric and soft seats. This one is fabric seats. Also, I feel very comfy for a long trips. In this one, you will feel also like a little bit more comfortable. But I believe that it will be the same thing. Like as long as there is not three persons here, otherwise you will feel a little bit tight. If I want that in the second row, the three people fit, I think that I may need to consider the Camry because that one will have a little bit more comfort, a little bit more room in the second row. But in this one, it is significantly a difference here in the how wider it is in comparison with the hatchback. You feel that there is more room. I mean, like three people can sit here, but for a long trip, maybe it will be like a little bit more comfortable than the hatchback. So, in conclusion, both cars are very good option, right? There's a couple of things that you need to consider as well. For example, this one has a 168 horsepower. In the other hand, this one has 138. So this one is a little bit more faster. This one looks a little bit more sporty, and also is smaller, right? So it will be very, very easy to maneuver and to park like here in Toronto, for example. That sometimes it's crazy to find a parking spot. But in the other hand, if you want like something that is very full efficiency, for example, this option that is hybrid, we are talking about like you are saving, roughly speaking, around like 2 liters per 100 kilometers. So overall, basically for 20,000 kilometers, like in 1 year, you're saving more than 400 liters, right, of gas. So if you're a person who drives a lot and you actually want to take advantage of the full efficiency, I highly recommend the Corolla hybrid. Because of the hybrid technology, you can take advantage of all of that. But on the other hand, if you want to have like a nice experience and a sporty feeling when you drive, I highly recommend the Corolla hatchback. So taking that in consideration, I think that both are great options. It depends on what do you want or what do you need in your lifestyle. And other than that, I think that both are perfect fit for every person and for every family. You can just pros and cons between these two, and you can make a final decision. So if you want to come in and take a quick test drive with the Corolla hybrid or the Corolla hatchback, feel free. You can reach us in our website, or you can just leave a comment and I will be very happy to see you. I'm Marcos Borja, Product Advisor of Downtown Auto Group, part of Downtown Toyota. Let's go and see you in the next video. Thank you.